What on earth is happening to Liverpool this year? Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. I said last week after the Crystal Palace draw, and tongue-in-cheek, I asked the question, are Liverpool out of the title race? And I said that just because the standard has been so high in the league between Liverpool and Manchester City, that you can only afford to draw so few games. You can only afford to lose so few games. But now, 3 games in, is that question as ludicrous as it sounded last week? If you win all 38 games of the Premier League season, you get 114 points. That is the maximum amount of points you can accrue. If you want an actual chance of winning the league, you need about 95 points. That means you can only drop 19 points from that total of 114. And Liverpool, already this season, after just 3 games, have dropped 7 of those 19 points. Forget the title race right now. Forget Manchester City. Forget top of the table. We just need to get ourselves together and start putting some wins together. We need to turn this around fast. There haven't been many games in the last few years that I've watched as a Liverpool fan that I've really found hard to take, that I was almost depressed by the performance. But today was one of them. Manchester United were so vulnerable. Beaten 4-0 by Brentford. Beaten by Brighton at home. They were fragile. They were there for the taking. We beat them 9-0 on aggregate last year. Part of the concern I had, though, was that everyone was taking it like it was a guarantee that Liverpool would win this game. And it felt like the team came out complacently. United started high energy. In fairness to them, in fairness to Manchester United, they were miles better than they were the last few weeks. They had better pressing. They were better organised. They ran more. They showed more energy, more commitment. But we had to at least match them early on, and we didn't. And I do think that, like last year at Old Trafford, when Liverpool scored first, the United heads would have dropped if that happened again this year, this game. But we were too passive. Every time United went forward, it looked like they were going to score. Elanga hit the post early on. Sancho then got the goal first half. There haven't been that many games where I felt Liverpool looked so porous at the back. It reminded me of the Villa game away from home a few years ago at Villa Park, where we lost 7-2, and it seemed like every time they went forward, they were going to score. First 25 minutes kind of felt like that. It was just too easy. Way too easy. Where were the problems? I mean, it's easy to point the fingers at the back line, but they were definitely left exposed by that midfield. And part of the problem was, if you want to play a high line and play the offside trap on top of that, you got to press the opposition every single time they get the ball and they have the chance to look forward. And we didn't do that well enough. But on top of that, we kept giving the ball away so sloppily in dangerous positions that they could just counterattack us over and over. And they didn't have to do very much to be able to do it. The problem is there's so many fast, strong players in the Premier League, so many fast forwards, that if you just give the ball away so sloppily, most teams are going to be able to punish you. What was the main problem? I mean, I don't want to put all the blame on James Milner. Because look, he's been an amazing player. I understand that he's an incredible character for the dressing room. He adds so much in terms of his presence, in terms of his leadership. But he can't be starting for a team with the aspirations that Liverpool have. He just gives the ball away. He's limited in a myriad of different situations. And he gives the ball away sloppily, and then we're counterattacked. And it happened over and over again. Henderson, off game, again. He needs to get it together. Elliott, he probably kept the ball better than any of our players. He had some nice passes as usual. But if he is in the midfield three, he can't offer the same off-the-ball work as some of the other players. For example, if Fabinho plays DM, Henderson plays on the right, he can then cover Trent when Trent is further up the pitch or when you're facing a quick winger. Elliott will not offer that same protection. And again, Trent was targeted by the opposition. This is happening over and over. And at some point, if he's just not switched on enough, if he's being beaten too easily 1v1, if he is out of position, it only takes one or two mistakes to concede one or two goals to potentially offset an outstanding offensive performance. If he creates 3 chances and 1 goal, but he's at fault for a one-on-one and they score from it, I mean, you're kind of offsetting the benefit of having him. And of course, look, he's an amazing player and I don't want to go too over the top with this, but you do feel like, how often do the opposition attack down Liverpool's left-hand side? And look, it's not just Trent. Of course, Van Dijk is also on that left-hand side with Robbo, so they're going to be more secure. But everything is coming down our right-hand side, and it might be something that we have to look at some point. Gomez, he's very active. He made a lot of interceptions. He made a lot of passes. He was on the front foot a lot. But for some key moments, he missed a challenge that led to Sancho's goal. He missed a challenge that led to Martial getting 1v1 in the second half. He tried to play the offside trap for Rashford's goal. There was just a few instances where he missed key challenges that led to important moments. Otherwise, he looked good. But it's those important moments that you really got to make the right decision. And you got to win the ball cleanly. And he didn't do that at times. Van Dijk, I mean, the Sancho goal again, he just sort of stood back and let Sancho shoot. Milner laid into him after that, and rightly so. At times, you just wish Van Dijk would show a bit more intensity. Aside from that, I mean, Firmino, I love Firmino. You can't help not love him. He's done so much for the club. But you can't deny he's been on the decline the last few years, and he should really just be a squad player at this point. Salah was our most dangerous player up front. Could have been better at times, though, did give the ball away quite a lot. But he had some nice moments, scored the goal to get us back in the game. Diaz is an amazing player, for sure. But prime Mane 1v1, he could take on any fullback in the world because he was so strong, he was so fast, and he could beat them. Diaz has the skill, he has the pace, but he doesn't have the strength. And I am finding that some really physical, quick fullbacks are able to contain him reasonably well. And then second half, when we had all the ball, all the pressure, he kept drifting inside and just couldn't really impose himself in the game. He needs to carry more of a goal threat. And I think we're really missing Mane in that respect. Mane, no matter how he's playing, he can always pop up with a goal. And he used to so frequently pop up with that first goal, which is the most important goal to score in a game. Overall, that was a tough game to take. I mean, after United got the goals, they just counter-attacked. And we had so much of the ball, but we didn't do enough with it. That quality, where is that final third quality? We had over 17 shots again, but only 5 on target. So many times moves are breaking down. We're lumping balls into the box, putting crosses in when we don't have a forward above 6 feet. We don't have Jota in there, who has great timing. We don't have Núñez in there. We look a little bit devoid of ideas at times. You just feel like if that was City in that second half with all that possession, they would have carved United open. They would have made some really clear-cut chances, and we didn't really do that. We had a few decent header attempts. I mean, Milner, first half, that was a header 7 yards out, free header. He had to score. And we were unlucky that it hits Fernandes, ricochets off Martinez on the line. There was a few instances like that where it felt like United were lucky. It could have broke, it could have hit the net. But guys, things just aren't clicking. We need to fix this soon. That lack of depth is very evident. We only had Fabinho and Carvalho on the bench. So many players injured. Do we need to dip into the transfer market? Do we need another midfielder? The problem is when everybody's fit, we'll have too many. But we're looking really light. Too many players off form. Fabinho. I mean, he should be one of the first names of the team sheet, but he wasn't dropped. He was dropped because he's been so poor the last few games. He needs to get it together, like a lot of the other players. I don't want to be all doom and gloom. This is still an amazing team, and look, we could still challenge for the title if we get a good run going. But we have to do it soon, and we need to improve all over the park defensively. Tighten up. Stop making it so easy for teams to break on us. Midfield needs to retain the ball far better. Needs to win more ball. Those three today, I mean, hard workers, but didn't put a lot of tackles in. And up front, need that cutting edge. We need to show that these world-class players up front are capable of the moments of quality to put the ball in the net and to create clear-cut chances. We need to turn this around soon. We need to get next game. Forget the title right now. Focus on the next game. Get 3 points on the board. And that has to start next week. There's a tough game to take. I'm not feeling great about the games so far this year, but look, trust Klopp, trust the team. We've been so good in the past. I know we can get it together, but we need to show it soon. I'll see you next time.